Airpods Dangerous. Technology is a wonderful thing. In the world of medicine, it helps doctors perform complex operations, allows hospitals to monitor patients, and can even keep a heart beating. When it comes to everyday life, things like smartphones, home security systems, and even your dishwasher make the day-to-day that much easier. One of the latest tech gadgets that's become very popular are wireless headphones, otherwise known as AirPods. You know, the little white things sticking out of people's ears? Yeah, those. They're great for playing music, talking on the phone, and basically anything else you'd use headphones for, but without all that annoying wire in between. The question we're asking today, Bestie viewer, is, when we gave up that wire that connects these headphones, did we give up some health safety standards as well? To find out if AirPods are really dangerous, keep watching. But first, hit subscribe and click the notification bell too, so you never miss our new videos. We're not scientists, but we're going to relay some scientific facts to you about the beloved AirPods. If you don't want to hear about the negative effects, then we suggest you watch one of our other fantastic videos, and keep enjoying your blissful life. However, if you do own a pair of these and are concerned, then keep watching. Before we go into whether or not these headphones are bad for your health, we should probably tell you how they work. The Daily Mail spoke with Dr. Moskowitz, who is a professor at Berkeley, about wireless AirPods. He's quoted in saying, "AirPods communicate with one another using a magnetic induction field. A variable magnetic field one sends through your brain to communicate with the other. Wireless headphones, or AirPods, connect wirelessly to your device via Bluetooth or short-distance radio communication technology. Anything that connects wirelessly is usually using some kind of electromagnetic energy wave, which in low doses isn't harmful." The biggest worry factor that comes with using things like cell phones and AirPods is that this type of technology is advancing so fast, the research can't keep up. Think back to when the latest smartphone was released. Did you line up to get one? Do you already have a fancy new pair of AirPods? If you're like the average consumer, you probably didn't dive into medical journals looking for the health effects before you bought them. Which brings up the second biggest worry when it comes to using fancy new technologies like wireless headphones. What are the long-term effects? It's not the first time people have been concerned with the effects of electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, in relation to our health. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, released a guide to using cell phones back in 2014. It goes through some frequently asked questions about cell phone use being linked to cancer. The very first question on this guide is, can using a cell phone cause cancer? Their stance? The CDC says that more research is needed to give you an answer. Very reassuring. However, the World Health Organization, or WHO, has said that, to date, no adverse health effects have been established as being caused by mobile phone use. The truth is, smartphones haven't been around that long, so it's hard to know what the long-term effects will be. AirPods use the same type of radio frequency radiation that cell phones use. Now that AirPods and wireless headphones are super popular, the topic is resurfacing once again. In 2018, a pair of studies by the US National Toxicology Program found clear evidence that this type of radiation could cause cancer in rats. But that's rats, specifically male rats, and not humans. This study doesn't prove that EMF exposure can cause cancer, but what it does suggest is that prolonged exposure to them isn't totally harmless. Since AirPods use that same technology, maybe we should be more careful with how we use them. Maybe. The research from WHO tells us that Bluetooth technology, how AirPods communicate with your cell phone, emits low-powered radio frequency levels, and a hands-free device like your headphones emit an even lower level than that. Cell phones have to reach cell towers, and in places that have bad reception, like your parents' house, it has to work harder and will emit higher levels of EMFs. The AirPods, on the other hand, only have to reach your phone, so the level in which they emit radiation will logically be lower. The closer the distance, the less radio frequency power is needed. Okay, great, so just keep your cell phone away from your face and then you're playing it safe and you don't have to worry. Which is easy if you have a fancy new pair of AirPods, right? It may not be that simple. Remember that long-term exposure we were talking about? Coupled with the fact that cell phones have only been popular since the early 90s. There's no way to tell what the long-term effects could be. People tend to wear AirPods for long periods of time. Not only that, but they're placed right next to your brain. in your ears. According to Martin Pall, a professor of biochemistry at Washington State University, there's many factors to be wary about. Not just signal power, but things like inconsistent pulses of radiation emitted by wireless devices. The Daily Mail reports that as time goes on, more and more scientists are calling for further research when it comes to radio wave-based technologies, especially those that are in close proximity with the ear canal and brain, things like headphones. Dr. Moskowitz, our friend from earlier, says his concern is about the fact that there is probably more neurological disorders and diseases as opposed to cancer. Plus, the fact that the space in which AirPods communicate is taken up by your brain has some researchers asking for a more precautionary standpoint. So, back to our original question. Are AirPods dangerous? Well, we'll let the World Health Organization answer that one. They have said, despite extensive research, to date, there is no evidence that conclude that exposure to low-level electromagnetic fields is harmful to human health. Many scientists are actively performing new studies, and don't forget that there are many organizations there to protect you, like the FDA, the CDC, and the WHO. All have regulations in place to keep us safe and healthy. If you are a bit on the skeptical side, though, your best bet is to just stick with wired headphones. So what did you think of our video? Do you love keeping up with the latest tech? Do you wear AirPods or are gonna stick it out with wired headphones? What's one piece of technology you can't live without? Why not let us know in the comments section below the best gadgets out there? Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.